Chicago and the Philippines. A comprehensive review of the week's special community events, featuring many exciting personalities, handled by the most professional Chicago Philippine Reports TV staff.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Chicago Philippine Reports TV, still the #1 Filipino show in the Midwest. I'm Girly Pascual. Welcome to our show. Today we have all the top stories from the Philippines. We also have what's happening in our own Filipino-American community of Chicago. We have interesting interviews led by our very own executive producer, Miss Veronica Layton. We have Bridget Cotero Carino. All these are coming up and more afterward from our sponsors. Please stay with us.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 901-245-4874. That's 901-245-4874. 901-245-4874. That's 901-245-4874.
Hundreds of vehicles and passengers were stranded Thursday morning due to floods along the Nautical Highway in Bukayaw, Calapan City, Oriental Mindoro. Many were unable to report for work like Willie Manalo.
Sa hirap ng buhay po ngayon, yung isang araw na sahod mo, edi wala. Kulang na, masababa ng sahod po namin. Tapos mababawasan pa ng araw.
Many people were also stranded on the highways of the towns of Baku and Nauhan. The local government used trucks to ferry passengers. A man who suffered a stroke had to be transferred to a pickup truck so that he could reach the hospital, as the ambulance that was supposed to take him couldn't cross the flooded highway. 37 villages are inundated in the towns of Baku, Nauhan, and Calapan City after the Bukayaw River overflowed. Houses, schools, and vast rice fields are likewise submerged.
Kahapon po at buong magdamag kagabi ay diretso yung pagbuhos ng ulan. Itong tubig na ito ay galing sa watershed ng palagay ng Occidental Mindoro.
In Sablayan, Occidental Mindoro, the combined teams from Philippine Coast Guard, Bureau of Fire Protection, and Municipal Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office were able to rescue a family who were trapped in their home due to floods caused by the swollen Amnay River. The rescue team braved the strong water currents and torrential rains to reach the house of the De La Cruz family in situ as East Barangay Elvita. They were able to successfully rescue the De La Cruz couple and their 3 children.
Tumawid po kami sa ilo despite po na medyo malakas yung agos at medyo maulan po ay pinilit po namin makuha sila para ma-rescue po at madala po doon sa barangay.
The town of Sablayan has been placed under a state of calamity. Mayor Bong Marquez says the damage caused by floods to agriculture and infrastructure has reached 150 million pesos. The Agriculture Department says damage to agriculture has reached at least 53 million pesos in 4 regions. It expects the figure to increase as reports come in from other areas.
Yung pinakamalaking damage natin ngayon is reported sa Occidental Mindoro. Yung rice area natin close to 2,000 hectares. Ang damage doon is reported already at 20 million.
The agency says government has 1 billion pesos in quick response funds to assist farmers affected in areas hit by Egay.
The Adame family is still coming to terms with their loss after losing their home in Bangged, Abra.
Wala, ma'am. Butik lahat. Wala, labas lahat, ma'am. Kaya, kawawa kami, ma'am. Lahat-lahat, wala na, ma'am. Kahit nung tatlong ganta na bigas namin, ma'am, wala kaming nakainin. Kaya mahirap kami ngayon.
Typhoon Egay also destroyed their cornfield, which is their main source of livelihood.
Kahit anong tulong, ma'am, kung ano ang gusto nilang nanggaling sa kalooban nila, hindi kami namimili, ma'am. Kahit yung pagkain namin. Kasi ngayon, ma'am, walang tubig sa amin. Hindi ko alam paano kami mabubuhay.
The Abra Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office says over 100 homes were ravaged by floods in Abra, while over 59,000 individuals are affected. Multiple landslides were also recorded. In Benguet, 4 people were killed and 5 were rescued from 2 houses buried in a landslide. Governor Melchor de Clas says they're mulling to declare a state of calamity.
Natabunan po sila doon sa sa isang area doon sa may Abatan Bugyas.
Oh.
Malapit sa isang school doon po. Opo.
Natabunan ng yung gumuhong
ng boulders, mga
boulders.
Opo, mga lupa sa kakahoy.
In La Trinidad, Benguet, farmers are disappointed after their strawberry farm was flooded.
Wala na. Zero profit yan. Zero harvest, wala na eh. Lubog na.
Hindi na pwede talaga yan.
Hindi pwede yan. Baka malulusaw yan.
34 hectares yung BSU strawberry farm. Kaya lang yung portion lang naman, hindi naman flood lahat. Yung pag tumaas kasi ang Bali River, talagang babalik doon sa Bullock Creek.
In Baguio City, clearing operations are underway in Cannon Road and other thoroughfares. In Ilocos Sur, 20,000 residents were evacuated. Power was also cut off due to strong winds and rains. The Lawag City Hall is now serving as the residents' charging station. In Apari, Cagayan, search and rescue operations have been launched to locate a team of rescuers who went missing. The rescuers were responding to a call on Wednesday to rescue 7 crew members of tugboat Iroquois when their own aluminum boat overturned in rough seas. The Coast Guard Aviation Force will deploy its helicopter to scour the seas and find the missing rescuers.
Asian markets traded mixed on Thursday after the U.S. Federal Reserve hiked by another 25 basis points to a 22-year high policy rate and left the door open for another one in September. Philippine shares finished flat for the day at 66.77. Regina Capital's Ariel Santos says the Fed's move was already priced in the market.
The recent earnings reports, especially those that came in today, those were the reasons why the market moved in such a way. Because if you're going to look at how these companies performed in 2Q, their earnings releases are actually mixed.
In the earnings stream, Aboitiz Power reports a 46% jump in second quarter earnings. And if not for 81 million pesos in one-time losses, core income would have been up nearly 70%. The company cites fresh contributions from GN Power Dinginan and higher availability across its portfolio. The power arm of the Aboitiz conglomerate says it is on track to achieving its 50-50 balanced mix portfolio by 2030 and continue to focus on providing reliable and innovative power. Meanwhile, Concepcion Industrial reports a 10% growth in second quarter net income of 257 million pesos, bringing first half to 350.3 million pesos, up 33% year-on-year. The company cites stronger sales volume in the second quarter, favorable impact of foreign exchange rates, and income contribution from its associate, Concepcion Medea Inc. Vulcan Depot saw net income in the second quarter dragged by 15% amid a slowdown in foot traffic and transaction count in old stores and higher operating expenses. It also cited base effects, saying the pent-up demand is starting to normalize. This brings first half net income to 1.8 billion pesos, flat year on year. And Philex Mining reporting a huge drop in its second quarter earnings. Core net income came in at 314 million pesos, more than 50% decline from the same period last year. Philex says lower tonnage milled resulted in the contraction of gold and copper output by double digits.
Yan! Dito na! Perfect!
Do you need to get your hands on some extra money right now? Maybe $25,000 or more? If you're a homeowner, now is a perfect time to get cash out. While homes in many neighborhoods like yours have gone up in value, you can use the money for anything. It's yours. You can buy an investment property, pay for college, pay off higher interest debt, or make home improvements. A cash out refinance is the perfect solution to get the cash you need. If you need $25,000, $50,000, or even $100,000, now's the time. Home values are up, and so is your equity. We offer you a way to use it. No need to sell your home or use your savings. Call New American Funding now and speak to a cash out refi specialist and see how much cash out you can get.
Call New American Funding at 855-332-3929. That's 855-332-3929. Call 855-332-3929.
Via Times, vital news, vibrant views for the Filipino Asian communities in Chicago. Via Times for your most interesting and exciting reading and your party coverages. Via Times has very interesting columnists. You name it, Via Times has it. Law, Filipino news, dentistry, immigration, humor, serious opinions, health, beauty, mysticism, Bata Corner, showbiz, and intelligently written editorials. Call Via Times at 773-866-0811.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to Veronica's segment of this show. Today, I have a very interesting guest, a book author, whose name is Cornelius Grove from New York. Hi, welcome to our show, Cornelius. I invited you to our show today to talk about your book, your just released book titled How Other Children Learn.
Yeah.
And
Here, can you see this cover?
yes, very good. How Other Children Learn. Okay, very interesting. All right.
Now, the subtitle is important too. Let me read the subtitle to you.
Yes.
What
can read
5 traditional societies tell us about parenting and children's learning.
Okay, about parenting. All right. Okay, Cornelius, thank you so much. All right. Okay. You're a book author of this book, and have you written other books before this?
Yes, I have. This book is published by Rowman and Littlefield, and I have 3 previous books, all related to education, with Rowman and Littlefield, and I'm under contract to write another book, and I'm working on that book now. I've even worked on it today. That'll come out probably in 2025.
Would that be about children learning too?
Well, it's about education. That book is more of more use to teachers who are working with students who are from other cultures, other social backgrounds, other nations. And so that's the focus of the book that I'm working on now.
So you are an educator, I can guess. So,
Well, it's true. I am an educator, and I have a doctorate in education from Columbia University. But these days, I'm better described as an ethnologist. An ethnologist is a person who compares and contrasts different cultures and looks to see what can be learned by looking at different cultures and comparing and contrasting them, and the insights and pondering the insights that arise out of those comparisons. So in this particular book, How Other Children Learn, I'm looking at 5 societies that are very much unlike our own society. They're traditional societies. They are, most importantly, for our discussion, they are societies in which there are no schools, or societies in which schools have just started to appear. So you have a society in which no adult has ever gone to school, but the children, some of the children, not all of them, some of the children are beginning to go to school. So my first 3 books dealt very much with schooling and what goes on in schools. And for this book, How Other Children Learn, I decided I'd like to do something completely different and look at how children learn and how parents parent in societies where there aren't any schools.
Wow, very interesting. And so you are what you call the other title is ethnologist?
An ethnologist is somebody who compares. In my case, it's true, I have traveled a great deal, but I'm not writing the book on the basis of what I've observed in my travels. I'm writing the book on the basis of the reports of anthropologists. They write books, they go to a society, they carry out participant observation. That means that they live in the society side by side with the people, day and night, month after month, sometimes for even more than a year or close to 2 years in some cases. And they live in that society and become a part of it. They form relationships. They do the work that needs to be done so that people can feed themselves or whatever, the economic activity is. And then eventually they leave, which sometimes is very difficult because they've made friends. And they come back usually to their universities, and they spend a lot of time writing books and journal articles about what they learned from living in those societies. And I read that stuff, and I use what I learned through that reading to write books for ordinary people. I'm not writing for scholars. I'm not writing for university professors. I'm writing for ordinary folks. So I'm taking scholarly materials, and I hope and I intend making it accessible for ordinary people. Now, I assume that the readers have at least a high school education, and in most cases, the readers will have some university education, of some kind. So that's what I do, and that's what my books are about.
That's quite interesting. So you are studying and researching and then writing a book about the students, ethnic students who are actually products of their own schools versus traditional schools. Is that how it is?
In the case of this book, I have written books that fit that description. That's not true of this book. I'm writing about the people I looked at are parents and youngsters in societies where there are not any schools, no schools. And they are not coming to the United States. they're living in their own societies. So I'm interested in what's going on there and how it compares with what goes on in our society, which of course is a very highly industrialized and technological society. But these 5 societies that I studied, I studied them by reading anthropological reports. Our traditional societies, these people, every day they have to worry about what they're going to eat. They're very close to nature. I see behind you the skyline of Chicago. They don't have anything at all like that, nothing at all like that. They live in forests. They live near the tops of high mountains. They live in deserts. These are very, very different circumstances. And yet, many scholars believe that the way people in those societies live are how our own ancestors lived many generations ago, long, long time, thousands of years.
That's very, very interesting. I have not heard of a thing like this before. And I know it's really quite different from what we are calling homeschooling, right?
Extremely different.
Really very different.
My book is mistaken sometimes as being useful to parents who are doing homeschooling. I wish it were, because I'd sell more books. But do not buy my book if you're homeschooling your child and you're looking for insights about how to deal with children when they don't go to school. This is not what my book is about. It has nothing at all to do with homeschooling. Zero.
So for what audience are you selling the books to?
Well, I'm not sending the books to, but they're available for purchase in any way that you usually get books, online. Any place you go to get books, you can get my book. As long as you have, and my book also has its own website, and you can buy the book from this website, and I'll give that website URL a little bit later. But my book is really of great interest to parents, middle-class American parents. Now, if middle-class American parents are absolutely convinced that everything they're doing for and with their children is just the very smartest, the very latest, the very best thing that can be done, then they're probably not going to be interested in my book. But if they're parents who sometimes wonder if they're doing the right thing and asking themselves questions sometimes about, for example, boy, I'm putting a lot of time and effort and we're spending a lot of money on this child and we love this child, and so we're giving them things and giving them experiences. I wonder if I really have to do all this. This is hard work. This is expensive. This is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That kind of parent, I think, will be interested in my book.
All right. Okay, that's really quite interesting. Is there a particular group? Okay, is there a name for the particular group of people or students that you are writing about in your book?
I'm not writing about students. The children in this book do not go to school.
They do not go to school.
There aren't any schools, or maybe just a few of them are going to schools. They're very basic schools. They're not like our schools. But if people want to understand what I have to say about children going to school and how well they're learning and how they can do better in school, they'd be interested in my other books, but not this one.
So you're going around the world to do this and find the kind of students and the parents who you want to write about?
Well, again, I'm not looking at students. I'm looking at children who are not students.
The children, okay.
They're not students. Their societies don't have schools, or maybe schools are just beginning to come into the society, and so a few of the children are going. But in the main, schooling is not a big thing in this society.
So it's really well, it's their own society. And I'm wondering, have you been to Asia and wrote about this, about the children and parents? Or interviewed any of these children and parents about their schooling?
My previous 2 books are about exactly that. But this book is not about that.
Okay. All right. It's a different, it's your book this time is about children and parents, right?
Yes, it's how the parents, how the families, I should say, raise the children.
Very good. Very good. And okay, well, where can our audience get a copy of your book?
Okay. So the title of the book is How Other Children
Learn.
How Other Children Learn. And it can be, it's not going to be in bookstores, but if you go into a bookstore, they can order it for you. But you can also order it for yourself. Maybe you get your books from Barnes and Noble. You order them online. You can get my book that way. It'd be mailed right to you. Maybe you get your books from Amazon. My book is there. You can get it. Or you can go to this book. I have created a website just for this book. So if you remember the title, How Other Children Learn, the website is howotherchildrenlearn.info. This is important, not .com, not .net, but howotherchildrenlearn.info. That is information. So this is where you get information about the book, How Other Children Learn. And on that website, there's a purchase button. And if you press the purchase button, you'll be instantly taken to the website of the publisher of this book, and you can order it from them. So any way that you ordinarily get books, you can get this book.
All right, very good. Okay, very interesting information. Remember, the website is howotherchildrenlearn.info.
Right, info for information.
For information.
Right.
Very good, Dr. Cornelius Grove. We thank you for gracing our show today and talking about your very interesting book, How Other, emphasis on other, okay? How Other Children Learn.
Yes, not our children, other children.
Other children, OTHR. All right.
Exactly. Very
not
good.
Your children, not my children. It's other children from different societies.
Exactly right.
I really enjoy talking to you, and I think this subject that we're talking about is really quite interesting. It's something that I have not heard about before, and
Yes.
I really commend you for what you're doing, and congratulations. I wish you more luck and keep us updated for anything that you're doing, and any addition to your book, maybe to your next book. All right, Dr. Cornelius Grove, thank you for gracing our show. At maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood. Ako po si Veronica. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye!
Bye-bye.
Do you need to get your hands on some extra money right now? Maybe $25,000 or more? If you're a homeowner, now is a perfect time to get cash out. While homes in many neighborhoods like yours have gone up in value, you can use the money for anything. It's yours. You can buy an investment property, pay for college, pay off higher interest debt, or make home improvements. A cash out refinance is the perfect solution to get the cash you need. If you need $25,000, $50,000, or even $100,000, now's the time. Home values are up, and so is your equity. We offer you a way to use it. No need to sell your home or use your savings. Call New American Funding now and speak to a cash out refi specialist and see how much cash out you can get.
Call New American Funding at 855-332-3929. That's 855-332-3929. Call 855-332-3929.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to Veronica's segment of the show. Today, I have a very interesting guest and we will be talking about a very interesting topic. And help me welcome Mr. Thomas Mustak. Mr. Welcome to our show. And Thomas is the Utter, did I pronounce it right? OTTER, that's the name of the company. Is Utter Medical and Health Industry PR specialist.
Yep, correct.
And we will be talking about today a very, very interesting topic, which many of us, including me, does not quite understand about the AI or the artificial intelligence, right? AI stands for that. And the effect on the many industries in our world these days. Help me welcome Thomas, Mr. Thomas Mustak. Okay, Thomas, this is a very heavy topic that we're going to be talking about. First things is the presence of AI in my mind is the question of its presence. I always think it's still in the future. But it's, let's face it, I know that it's here now, right? And how does AI affect the PR industry?
Yeah, so like everybody in every industry it seems to be wanting to get into artificial intelligence or somehow just get their hands on it. It's always like that shiny new toy that every kid wants. So artificial intelligence, I feel like a lot of people don't know what they're getting into. It's a lot of unknown, but there's a lot of benefits to it. In PR specifically, it's used almost every day, whether it be our clients, us ourselves. And it tends to be that it's more of a product that we use alongside of what we do, not necessarily something that's going to replace any job. Everybody's always scared that it's going to turn into the next iRobot movie with Will Smith where the robots run the world. But I don't think it's ever going to get that crazy.
Yeah, it seems that it's really little by little, or maybe, it's in a massive way. It's really here. It's and affecting some industries. My first question is that it could be dangerous, right? In some way, through our social media, how social media really affects or alters some images or pictures, and of course some information in some ways. So how does the AI would affect? It's affecting us now, but can you please describe to us the effect of AI in our industries or in our government or in the world?
Absolutely. So, when it comes to artificial intelligence, we always have to be careful in the sense that when you're talking about altered images or altering the news, for example, people tend to believe whatever they see on TV or whatever they read online from their friend because it came from Joe in Alaska or whoever they might know. But with artificial intelligence, they could make a carbon copy of Joe or your friend, and it could be a robot that you're talking to on the computer pretending to be an expert. And that's what's really scary in the sense that you have to do a lot of research. You have to look around for multiple sources of your news. I know in public relations, for example, we can't just stick with one source. We like to always look at multiple different sources. And I know that it's going to get harder and harder to identify who's a real source and who's not. But the one main thing that you have to do is find one source of news that you trust and stick to that. So let's say it be Fox News or NBC or CNN. You always want to find a person that you trust to deliver your news. Social media, you always want to make sure that you're not just reading one thing, believing it. You always want to look around and put kind of your own version of whatever you're trying to look into. So whether it be a story on Ukraine, you want to make sure that you're looking on very different sources, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and then little by little, you're making your own observation and your own idea of what's going on.
How can we predict if it's getting really quite dangerous for all of us?
That's a tough question to ask. And I know a lot of people have been asking it. It could turn anywhere, and it really depends on the government and how they want to regulate artificial intelligence, whether they want to continue where it's people deciding how they want to get involved with artificial intelligence. Do they solely want their industry running on artificial intelligence? I know that there's construction industry professionals that are now using artificial intelligence and they put a smart camera on their helmets, and then their managers see what they're doing every day on the construction site. So it's whether they want artificial intelligence to run the job solely, or do they want to keep it where it's construction workers running their jobs like they have been for over hundreds and hundreds of years. So it really depends on regulation, the government, and society, because if people panic, the government tends to move faster. So it really comes down to the public and the government.
One scary thing is that it's about the countries, like for example, the countries that are not at peace with each other are really fighting these days, and the danger of the AI is that there could be some kind of images or information that will be sent out that some of these countries in trouble might misinterpret. How do you see that in the future?
Especially, I just brought up Ukraine. That's one very scary situation where I'm not a political expert, but I could definitely see whether it be a fake image or a fake news story, it could change the world. It could start a war again. And that's not even just to scare people. It's just a scary idea of the potentials if we don't be careful with artificial intelligence. And there definitely has to be some regulation, but we always have to keep in mind that it's supposed to be used as a tool. It's not supposed to be replacing anything, replacing a news source or replacing an expert. You always want to use it alongside somebody that knows what they're doing. So it's definitely important to make sure that there's some regulation, but that there's experts that are in charge that can control the situation.
But who knows?
That's the scary part. It's all in the air. It's a very scary future, but again, it's the shiny toy everybody likes. It's cool, it's new, and that's what makes it interesting.
Okay, I think and nowadays many human jobs are being replaced by AI.
Yeah.
And what are the risks for the humans?
Well, that's the thing. So the risk with the humans, it depends on the industry. So you're not going to have artificial intelligence replacing your doctor or replacing even public relations. It'll never replace a public relations professional because as a human being, we have the ability to smell, we have the ability to breathe, we have the ability to think of ideas. A robot can never think as a human being, and even if it can, that human originality, I don't think it will ever be replaced. And it's that sense of belief where they might bring in artificial intelligence, but it's going to open up new jobs in different ways. And it's just going to be another part of life and another shift in society that we just have to live alongside with it. But again, it's going to be used more as a tool, in my opinion, than replacing people in their jobs.
But Thomas, so far as you're concerned, your industry is really keeping up with what's going on. Most of all, the about the artificial intelligence that's really coming to us, right? And how do they do it?
So in public relations, we tend to work with our clients. And when it comes to whether it be a doctor or somebody that's in facilities management, we tend to just implement it into their business and just make their jobs easier. So whether it be scheduling their calendars or whether it be helping them with everyday small tasks that they might necessarily not have time for during the day, now with artificial intelligence, that will help them with their business and just run small little errands. In public relations, we tend to use it kind of as an office assistant. It hasn't, the main purpose is we don't want to trust it in the sense that the sources sometimes that they use, it really might not be reliable. And that's where the human sense, I would say, comes in mind, which is the robot will never tell you if this is right or wrong. You're going to always know, and it's always going to ask you. So you direct it wherever it's going, especially with ChatGPT. It's always going to say, is this what you were looking for? Is that what you're looking for? Just because it's trying to learn how you're thinking and what you're doing, but it will never, never know a direction or how to do your job until you tell it how to do something. So it's kind of, it's neat in the sense that you could use it as a tool, but I don't see it necessarily being a full-time employee, let's say.
So, in final words, we should, as humans, we should really be aware and adaptable to what's coming to us, right?
Exactly. We should learn how to use it. We should definitely be aware of the scariness, the worries, but definitely just take it into consideration as an option on how to help you run your day better and how to efficiently run your day with less stress. So in that sense, it's more of a tool. I would never use it as an employee, never trust it solely. But definitely the human touch is a key factor that you will always need no matter what.
Great, terrific, great information, Thomas. Before we sign off, would you like make one statement to educate our viewing audience further?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you or your organization ever need PR needs or communications, or whether it be learning about ChatGPT, Otter PR is very, very good at it. We use it nonstop. So you could definitely visit us at otterpr.com and learn more.
Terrific. Okay, thank you so much, Thomas, for gracing our show today. And really is a very, very interesting information for us about the artificial intelligence. Thank you so much. At maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood. Ako po si Veronica. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Happy 4th to all of you. Happy 4th to you too, Thomas. Okay. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Cook County Treasurer Maria Pappas. Go to cookcountytreasurer.com because you may have money coming back, either on missing exemptions or refunds going back 20 years. This short video will help to explain everything.
Welcome to the office of Cook County Treasurer Maria Pappas. As a taxpayer in Cook County, you can see if you are entitled to $85 million in available overpayment refunds from overpayments going back 20 years. And $37 million in possible missing exemptions going back 4 years. To find out if you are eligible for a refund or to see if you qualify for an exemption, go to cookcountytreasurer.com. Click on the purple box to access your property tax overview. Search for your property by entering your property address. Also, do not enter north, south, east, or west. When you see your property listed, click View Your Property Tax Information. This takes you to your Property Tax Overview screen, which provides a detailed breakdown of your property tax information, including payments and exemptions. You can scroll down or use the navigation in the left column to quickly access key information. Are there any overpayments on your PIN? If a refund going back 20 years is available, click Apply Now to submit an electronic refund application. Approved refunds will be sent to applicants in 4 to 6 weeks. Have you received your tax exemptions in these tax years? This section details tax exemptions that reduce property taxes for eligible taxpayers. The grid shows a yes for exemptions that are applied and a no for exemptions that are not applied. If a prior missed exemption resulted in a CFE or certificate of error, text will indicate that below the grid. The homeowner exemption. Most homeowners are eligible for this exemption if they own and occupy the property as their principal place of residence. The senior citizen exemption. Senior homeowners are eligible for this exemption if they are 65 years of age or older as of January 1st for the year in question and own and occupy their property as their principal place of residence. The senior freeze exemption. Senior homeowners are eligible for this exemption if they meet the requirements for the senior citizen exemption and have a total household annual income of $65,000 or less. This exemption provides significant savings by freezing the equalized assessed value of an eligible property. For each of the returning veteran, disabled person, or disabled veteran exemptions, go to cookcountytreasurer.com and find a detailed explanation by clicking the top menu button, Exemptions. If you meet the qualifications for an exemption, click the Apply for a Missing Exemption link. For more comprehensive information, listen to WVON 1690 AM Mondays at 11:30 and call the hotline during the live broadcast. Go to St. Sabina Catholic Church Thursdays between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Or if you're disabled or need further assistance, email us by going to cookcountytreasurer.com and click Contact Us by email at the bottom of the page.
We would like to welcome all of you to Baladna Jewelry. We have a very big selection of 21 karat gold jewelry imported from the Middle East, from Dubai, Saudi, and Bahrain. And we have a very big selection of diamond. We offer free financing for 6 months, and we have a layaway system which you can leave your stuff for 3 months. We repair gold and we buy old gold. Welcome to Baladna Jewelry.
Salamat po.
How would you like to get high-speed internet for your home for less than $2 a day? That's right, for about $50 a month, you'll get lightning fast internet. Are you paying less than $50 a month right now for your internet? Then call Whole Home Connect right now for blazing fast internet at $50 a month with no price increases, no hidden fees, no contracts, no equipment fees. It's a great deal. And guess what? You can try it for 15 days. If you don't like it, you get your money back, but you're gonna love it, and you're gonna love the price. Internet for your home for $50 a month. That's less than $2 a day. Plus, no contracts, no equipment fees, and our 15-day guarantee. Call now.
Call 800-555-1212. That's 800-555-1212. Again, 800-555-1212. Don't wait. Call us right now.
Good afternoon, this is Bridget Carino-Quetta bringing you this week's local news from our community. The Cook County Department of Environment and Sustainability recently received the Outstanding Public Sector Award from the Illinois Recycling Foundation, acknowledging the county's first ever Center for Hard to Recycle Materials, or CHARM Center. This award recognizes a community, county, or publicly funded institution for a recycling or composting effort, program, or event that successfully achieves or promotes diversion. The award was presented to Cook County government for establishing the first CHARM Center in the state of Illinois, which provides a permanent location for residents to drop off items for reuse or recycle that diverts waste from landfills, waterways, and vacant lots. Keeping items that are not typically accepted through traditional recycling services out of our landfills will help create a better environment for all Cook County residents, said Cook County Board President Tony Preckwinkle. The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office has confirmed 2,000 opioid overdose deaths for 2022, breaking the previous record of 1,935 set in 2021. More than 91% of opioid overdose deaths involve fentanyl. Fentanyl is up to 50 times more potent than heroin and 100 times more potent than morphine. Approximately 78% of the opioid overdose deaths are male. African Americans make up 56% of the deaths. Latinos account for just under 15%, and whites constitute 29% of the deaths. The age group most impacted is 50 to 59-year-olds, accounting for 27% of the overdose deaths. The year's youngest opioid overdose death in Cook County was a 12-year-old boy from Chicago. The oldest was an 84-year-old woman from Chicago. During July, which is Disability Pride Month, the Chicago-Cook County Workforce Partnership is highlighting a regional talent pool that is too often underutilized: job seekers with disabilities and the employers who hire them. Roughly 5% of the partnership's customers we serve with the federal workforce dollars report having a disability, says partnership CEO George Wright. We at the partnership believe in ensuring these customers have access to our network services and are lifted up as competent and capable members of the labor force who can contribute mightily to ensure regional employers remain competitive. Disability Pride Month initially started as a day in 1990, the year that the Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA, was signed into law, and celebrates individuals with disabilities embracing their disabilities. This year, the partnership and Cook County launched the Cook County Career Pathways Navigator program to support individuals with disabilities and connect them with organizations to help them with their career paths. In April of 2023, Hunt Auctions executed a private treaty sale of a Babe Ruth professional model bat dating to the 1920 to 21 period for a record price of $1,850,000. The new mark aptly bested the previous known record sale price for any baseball bat at an auction or private sale, which had been $1.68 million for another Ruth model bat. The record-setting bat will now be on display for viewing and photo ops to all fans attending the National Sports Collectors Convention at the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center located in Rosemont, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. The particular Ruth bat, which established the record price, is universally regarded as one of the finest surviving exemplars, as wielded by the Bambino with a provenance, as having been once displayed at the Polo Grounds in New York. Notably, in addition to the impressive authentication pedigree and Polo Grounds provenance, the Ruth bat was photo matched to a 1921 photograph picturing Ruth swinging this exact bat by highly regarded PSA DNA lead photographic expert Henry Yee. Leaders of major metros around the U.S. have pushed for more progressive immigration policies in recent years by declaring themselves safe havens for illegal immigrants. Now, however, as the realities of the financial and social impacts of those policies sink in, some local leaders are thinking twice. Millions of illegal immigrants have flowed across the southern border since President Joe Biden took office, with many seeking haven in self-proclaimed sanctuary cities. The policies of the Biden administration have certainly upped the ante on this sort of virtue signaling in recent years. Ira Melman from the Federation for American Immigration Reform told the Center Square, referring to sanctuary cities, Some 2.3 million new illegal aliens have entered the country since Biden took office, and a lot of them have wound up in these sanctuary jurisdictions, either on their own, transported by the federal government, or transported by other jurisdictions that simply cannot handle the influx. That's all for today. Thank you for watching our news this week. This is Bridget. See you next time.
And that's our show for today. Thank you all for watching Chicago Philippine Reports TV. We hope you will stay safe and enjoying this day with your family and friends. I'm Maria Girly Pascual. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagsubaybay, and we'll see you back here next week.
Do you need to get your hands on some extra money right now? Maybe $25,000 or more? If you're a homeowner, now is a perfect time to get cash out. While homes in many neighborhoods like yours have gone up in value, you can use the money for anything. It's yours. You can buy an investment property, pay for college, pay off higher interest debt, or make home improvements. A cash out refinance is the perfect solution to get the cash you need. If you need $25,000, $50,000, or even $100,000, now's the time. Home values are up, and so is your equity. We offer you a way to use it. No need to sell your home or use your savings. Call New American Funding now and speak to a cash out refi specialist and see how much cash out you can get.
Call New American Funding at 855-332-3929. That's 855-332-3929. Call 855-332-3929.
So